Hey boys and girls, good afternoon. I'm ready to start another ride with FSD. It's so fantastic and I've been waiting more than 15 years to get this. You can find my whole history on my YouTube channel. And this morning I promised to make a video about FSD behavior and especially around the speed that it selects. I will do a ride now to a fruit shop about 15 to 20 kilometers from here, and on the way you will see how you can handle FSD without being an obstacle on the road for other road users. Okay, see you later. Okay, YouTube, we are ready to start our trip. As I explained, I planned my trip in 2 steps. First to the fruit shop, and I can choose the roads among 3 options. And the next step, I'm going to my mother, and that's the second part of the trip. It will automatically continue as soon as I press the FSD button once again on my next destination. So let's go. This is always a challenge here because the turn to the right is about 60 degrees angle, which is quite sharp, and it sometimes doesn't work safely because there are ditches on both sides with water, and I don't want to get a wheel inside this ditch. It worked perfect. From the other direction it's much more difficult. Coming home. So what I promised this morning in my previous video is to give you some more insight on how FSD is driving and especially the speed that it selects. You can see here it's a 50 km/h road, but it drives only 38 km/h. This is slow for many people, but I find it appropriate because it's so narrow and you can always encounter tractors and big machines in this agricultural area. So in this case I don't make any corrections at all. And now we will arrive at the T junction. We go to the left, and this is a more busy road. Cars are driving at least 50 here in a zone where the speed is restricted to 50. Okay, now I'll push the throttle to let it go past 50, okay? And you will see that it will almost stay at 50, which is fine. This is the speed restriction. We end up at another T junction where we turn to the right, a sharp turn. We follow the black car and it goes immediately because no other cars are coming. This is a 70 km/h road. I accelerate to 70 and now it's following the black car. It has a lead car, so no problem. It knows that it's safe. So I can let it go and it will keep the speed of the previous car. By the way, I can show you later how you do that, but the speed has been set in that way that I can exceed it 10%. So the car is allowed to go 10% over the maximum speed, which is still not so that you will get a big fine, but okay, you can go 10% over it, and this is simply the selection that I took. It's your decision, so you are responsible if the car is going too fast. Until now, with current FSD, there is no danger that it will drive too fast continuously. It is very cautious, very safe, but in the future I guess it will more respect it. You see, now it reduces the speed to be safe in this turn. The other car did the same. So this is a very nice road with a white line, and it will reduce its speed again in this turn to a safe speed. You see there are cars behind the curve. That's why it's not continued to drive 70. It's not looking for problems. It's keeping it on the safe side, and I think that's appropriate. Just behind the next turn, there's a Porsche. It wants to go, but has to stop. There's a bus, and now it sees the limitation, the white panel with the city name, 50 kilometers per hour. It's continuing at 53, which is not bad for me. It's a few kilometers over the maximum speed. You can see here the legal speed is 50 and 55 max. That's what I set. I set 10% plus. You can do that. You can also change the speed while driving, the preset speed at any speed you want, but it will not go over what you set as 55 maximum. It's more to reduce the speed. If you say it's going too fast here on the highway, for example, it will drive normally 120. You can set it to 100, and then it will keep this speed stable on the highway. Not a problem. So you see, actually you are still in charge. You are still able to set the speed as you want by the presets or by the throttle pedal. There is nothing to throttle here. It's the electric regulator pedal, or how shall we call it? The accelerator pedal, they say in America. So let me know in the description below what you find and what you think. Is it still too slow? Will you keep moaning? Or are you angry to Tesla? It doesn't help. Tesla is very cautious. You can see how they developed FSD and how they step by step kept it safe by all kinds of measures. So please don't start blaming Tesla. Tesla is doing the best for all of us. Tesla is doing it the safe way. Let them do, and explain to other people why they do it. That is what I expect from you, and that's why I make this video. This is 50 kilometers per hour. It follows the car, so it cannot go faster. It adapts its speed. Now the car is gone, but there is a queue in front of us. Speed is not relevant. And that's the most relaxing part of FSD, riding in a queue. It does it perfectly. By the way, for those who don't know me, I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren, and I'm 71, and I worked for 36 years in a big automotive company as automotive engineer. I had many different responsibilities, but mainly technical and service and quality related. Technology is my hobby. Electronics and programming is still my daily occupation. I had 2 different companies of myself in ecological technology. So I know a little bit what I'm talking about, and I hope you can appreciate that I have my own vision on what's happening with FSD. I'm very happy, and I try to understand why the designers, why the manufacturer of this system do what they do. From here is 70. I press the accelerator pedal until 70, and now it keeps going with 70. Isn't that marvelous? You decide whether you want to go faster, and it will do that. Now it will slow down again for the next roundabout. And I just supervise it, and everything goes perfect. The road from here is 50 again, so I will accelerate to 50, and it will keep this speed until it sees a reason to reduce it. So the tendency of the system is currently that it will keep the speed lower than the maximum allowed speed. It will not automatically exceed it even if you set the settings higher. I heard from some of the influencers that they have set 50% overspeed, which is crazy. Why don't you drive safely? And they say FSD refuses to do that. Okay, that's an opinion, but I don't share it. So in a way, FSD has become very boring, and I'm aware of that. So looking at this video, my wife keeps saying, oh, you make boring videos. That's right. But for people like you and me who are interested in this technology, it's exciting. And I don't need accidents, or I don't need to see strange edge cases. If it happens, fine, and I had quite a lot during my last 10 videos already. But that's not the point. I think the point should be, the video should be boring because everything is going perfectly. That's my opinion. And I'm, by the way, not monetizing my channel. I don't need that. I have bought Tesla shares instead, and it brings me a lot of more possibilities. Strangely enough, FSD still judges this road as 50 while it was indicated 70. But I have brought up the speed once to 65, and now it keeps the speed at 65 even if it's 50 indicated. Okay, it's a bit more safe here. I press the accelerator again a second time. And now it goes 64, which is okay for me. Why would you drive faster? Arriving a few minutes earlier? That's not what's important. I was looking at my screen too long, for 20 seconds, and it didn't like that. Ahead is a speed restriction of 50 kilometers per hour, the white panel. It just gives us Moerbeke, that's the name of the village, and it knows it's still 50 here. And that was a difficulty in Belgium to homologate it. They had to test. Okay, sorry for that. My camera or my iPhone switched off without knowing, so I lost a part of my recording, but no worries, we will continue immediately. So in the previous section I was explaining about the difficulty during the homologation. One of the things was the white panels used in Belgium, and the white panels are not showing any speed indication, speed restriction. Okay, I must be attentive here. 70, yeah, that's fine. The white panels don't indicate a particular speed like 50. It's not explicit, but it's implicit. White panel with village name means in Belgium reduce your speed to 50. And this is not existing in the Netherlands, and I don't know if it exists in other countries, but we call that an implicit speed limit. The explicit speed limits are panels with a number, 50, 70, 90, whatever. And in the Netherlands, it's easier because all their panels, they have an explicit number, which is more logical. But in Belgium, we are used to thinking a little deeper, and we can understand the implicit speed restrictions. Okay? No problem with people from Holland, but there are some differences. So a car is following me. 70 is not enough for him because he is really driving 2 meters from my bumper. He will not be happy that the car is slowing down. I let the car do without pressing my accelerator pedal. I'm not a racing driver. So in Belgium there was another difficulty not available in the Netherlands, which is the speed, the maximum speed on the roads on the countryside is limited to 70 in Flanders. That's the Dutch speaking part of Belgium. But in Wallonia, the French speaking part, the limit is 90. There is a pheasant sitting on the street. Okay, the car has seen it and it reduced the speed for it, and it accelerated again after it. Have you seen the bird? Big bird? That's what I would also do. Maybe some people don't like you slowing down for a bird, but I think they also deserve to be alive. Here is 50 again. We are going through a busy housing area. It nicely keeps 49, 48, which is fine for me. Great. I'm not touching the pedal at all. And now this is a difficult point because it has to cross a very big street, the national road. It squeezes in between and it turns to the right. Okay, now here is the zone again, 50. And we are almost at our destination now. So something I said in my lost part of the video, I will repeat again. So we are entering a zone of 30. Look at the panel of 30 kilometers per hour on the right hand side. It's much smaller than the 50 kilometers per hour that we just saw. Will it remark it? It missed it because it's too small. And this is a problem for the the regulators in Belgium. But what is very surprising and good is that FSD, even though it missed the 30 km/h panel, it sees in the environment that it's a school area, I suppose, and it adapts the speed to around 30 km/h, 34, 33. Isn't that unbelievable? This is better than what we can expect. Even if it misses a panel, it knows in that area this is my appropriate speed. And the speed limit continues in this street until 1 kilometer from here. So it goes a little faster because there is no school anymore here, but it's still appropriate for the area. There can be many students using the bus. There's there is a lot of things around. And on the right hand side you see a panel 30 is finished, not so clear. It keeps 50 because it misses the 30 km/h and the finished 30 km/h panel. It does not always miss it, but only when they are smaller than the normal panel size. So this is something where Tesla should be training more for our country. Smaller speed panels must be noticed. So now on the right side a white panel saying that the village is finished. So now it can accelerate to 70. I will give it a little bit more confidence, but then I stop and it will continue. This is the way you can use FSD today. Why would you demand an update from Tesla? Adapt yourself and try to use it in appropriate way, being careful, being slow. 50 km/h, that was hidden and you could almost not see it, but the car should now go to the fruit shop. It missed the entrance because probably my location was not precise enough. So I'll come back later. Bye bye. Hey again. Now the second part of my trip is starting from the fruit shop to my mother's house, and maybe it will be not that interesting because I will not speak too much. Only if something important happens, I will put it back on normal speed, but I will accelerate a part of this section. Okay, we start here and we have to back up to get out. FSD, go. It goes back on the parking lot. It goes back sufficiently to turn in front of that car. It has to do a 3-point. Okay, now we are going to the road. Traffic 50 km/h on that road. What is it doing? It's going in the wrong direction. I wonder what it's going to do. Will it find an alternative road? I wonder. Why not? Okay, yes, I know that road. We do it by bicycle. So behind that house there is a left turn. Yeah, not bad. I was very surprised to see that he's going in this direction, but obviously FSD knows what it's doing. And that's also what I read on X. Even in America, people are not happy with the route planning. If it's not what they want, okay, and then they have to interrupt FSD, change the routing and go again. You can do that, but for me, 71 years old, I have the time and I'm letting it do because I know we will get there. If we are getting there faster or slower, I don't care. I'm not in a hurry anymore. But I understand some of you are still very active in life, and yeah, that makes a difference. Going a small country road, as I said, I cycle a lot here, but by car I avoid it because it's too narrow. Interesting test. Okay, here we come at the T junction again. The 50 zone is finished, so there should be 70 on that road. We go to the left, nothing is coming. And people around me don't realize that I'm not driving, but the car is. This is unbelievable. And in the beginning you have the, yeah, sometimes the need to show people that you're not driving it, but I gave up because FSD doesn't like it. Just behave normally, watch the road, and don't start to put your hands behind your head, for example, like you're sleeping. That gives you a strike. So it was a good test to test the monitoring system inside the car. We're going to, yeah, a 30 km/h zone again, and it did not remark it, but it is very quiet. Okay, now these are strange obstacles. It maneuvers around it safely, and now we come on the main road again. T junction, blinking to the right. One car is coming from the left, an electric Renault. Here is 50 again, but I suppose there will be a zone of 30 a little bit further on. Let's watch the panels, if they are big enough and recognized, or if they are too small and the car doesn't, the car ignores these panels. School zone is announced. It's driving 40 and it knows that it's 30 here. I'm not sure how, because I didn't see the panel. There is a school zone, yes, okay. And in this zone is driving 40, because most of the cars are driving faster than 30. There are no children on the road. Basically, it's tolerated, but it's not absolutely correct. But I don't panic. I know that it will be driving much slower when it sees a child, even an adult. Makes no difference. The so-called VRUs, as it's called in America, the vulnerable road users, like cyclists, pedestrians, steps, it watches very carefully and it sees them before I saw them. So I suppose in the future, if you think about it, there will be no need anymore for any road signs. That's one big difference with today. Today our countries are full of road signs. It's like a forest of road signs. Once that the cars will be driving themselves, it will know either by map data or it will know by the environment and by being just clever AI that the speed should be a certain number, and it will adapt dynamically. But that will only happen after man will be stopped driving. And I know the humans in a few years, I don't know, 10, 15, they will be allowed, we will be allowed on closed circuits as an amusement park to drive a car. It will be an attraction rather than a habit. And yeah, that may be very successful. Amusement parks drive your own car because our daily commutes will be driven by robots like this one. Is this too slow, guys? I did not press the accelerator, but it obviously learned that it doesn't need to be so cautious on such a road, and it adapted automatically. One thing I can imagine is that people using a Model S or a Model X or a Cybertruck, they may have a completely different experience because these are bigger cars, longer cars, wider cars, and yeah, heavier cars. Tesla may have set these speed profiles differently, but I have a Model 3 and for me this is really perfect. This whole part now until reaching the city is 50 kilometers per hour. Perfect behavior. Without touching the pedal, since a long time, it's driving 50, exactly 50 where it should be 50. It's driving 70 where it should be driving 70. I don't really understand why so many people are moaning about this. What happens? Let me know in your description below what you think, what's your expectation, what's your experience, and yeah, if necessary, contact me privately. We can try to find out what's the difference. I'm puzzled by it. This is again an implicit speed panel. It means 50. Of course, we were already in a 50 kilometers zone, but that means that the city limits are there. And from the city limits, village limits, even if there is no name on it on the board, that white board means slow down to 50. The remark about cars freaking out on the road, I heard from some influencers on X several times this week. I believe, it's my personal opinion, is that it will probably be people driving a Model S. And the Model S is wider, is heavier, is longer, and needs more space, so FSD may not be fully adapted to that car yet, but I'm sure it will come and it will become better. But for the Model 3, this was really developed for it, and I'm very happy it does exactly 99.99% of the time what I would do. Okay, look at the steps here with two girls on it without a helmet, even not looking at the traffic, with earpods in their ears. What are they thinking? They are young, but you can die when you're young. Mind you, there may be even a difference between the Model 3 and the Model Y. The Model Y is also wider, longer, heavier than the Model 3. So I don't know, but it seems to be that for the Model 3 everything works fine, and some people are not happy. I never had this experience. Still, even if the situation would be worse than with my car, I would recommend everybody to be a little more patient and to let Tesla do. Don't make them look bad by complaining, by trumpeting that they are doing the wrong thing, because that will attract the attention of the regulators, and we are still not safe when it comes to European acceptance. So until we get there, please keep your attitude positive and help to get it through in all countries. When you make Tesla look bad by saying they drive too slowly, the regulators will become suspicious that this is the right path or not. So please think before you trumpet, okay? It makes me angry when I see that, and I think you're playing with fire. should start blinking to the right, and it does. Yeah, okay. Now we must go to the bus lane to turn in. It used to be the bus lane till now. Roundabout, we need to turn right. And on this road is 70. Yes, has seen it. I don't know how it saw it, but maybe it's map data. But as the cars in front of me are not driving faster than 50, I'm not going to complain about it. The road here is more like a road to be 50 kilometers per hour than 70. There are so many exits of factories and offices and trucks turning around. Personally, I will never exceed 60 on this road, even if I'm allowed to do 70. My air conditioning is not too noisy for you now, because the temperature is really rising. Outside 32 degrees and rising. So I don't know which road it will take, but we can go left here or a little bit further down the road. We go on. What I really like is the distance that FSD keeps between the front or the car before you and the car itself. Of course, it depends on your own settings, but I always think it's better to be safe than sorry. So I normally always keep a similar distance, and that gives the time to the car to correct or to react when something happens. I had too many accidents in my life because of that. I was also a bumper driver, but not anymore. It's too expensive. Okay, it will go left on the street where I've been living from 1960 till 1977. So 17 years I lived in this area, and we will pass the house I was raised in. We are close to Brussels now, but still a rather quiet area. Okay, let's get ready to cross the oncoming traffic now. How will it do? Okay, it waits patiently, and it takes the gap. Zone 30. It has missed it again. The panel is too small. To be honest, I will pass this information on to the homologation department in Flanders. I think this is something that must be watched with FSD. They are in contact with the right people in Tesla, and I'm sure if we tell them, they will actually train it. There we are. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe.